Good morning and welcome to our last midweek reflection before Christmas. I've been very aware this year of the biblical references to darkness and light. They seem very apt for 2020. As I wrote this, it was the middle of the shortest day of the year. A few luminous hours amongst two protracted nights of deep black darkness. Nature seems to have given in and decided to sleep. The leaves have fallen and the garden seems dead. And this darkness in the winter has affected our moods even in normal years, but in 2020, and with the added news of a new, more catching strain of the virus diminishing our hope even further, it is no surprise to consider that humans have searched for divine hope in the darkness throughout their history. Many moons ago, the pagan god Sol Invictus was prayed to, and back in the 2nd century, the Romans believed that the unconquered sun would rise again and warm the earth and bring things back to life. We have a long history of recognising the relationship between dark and light. And it's no accident that the Church celebrates the birth of the true light at the darkest time of the year. I am even more keen to celebrate the birth of Jesus this year. I'm reminded of Isaiah's words. They have so much resonance with our current circumstances. He tells us that the people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who lived in a land of deep darkness, on them the light has shone. It's only when we look to the promises of God that were made to us through Jesus that we can begin to reach beyond our immediate circumstances and see where the light of Jesus shines. One of the points of light for me has been in seeing how the churches have responded to world events by supporting refugees in this area. Refugees in the world today must be amongst the most deprived and suffering people on earth. They truly know darkness. And I remember that Jesus was a refugee. And there's a lovely poem called Refugee by Matthew Greet. It goes like this. We think of him as safe beneath the steeple or cosy in a crib beside the font. But he is with millions of displaced people on the long road of weariness and want. For even as we sing our final carol, his family is up and on the road, fleeing the wrath of someone else's quarrel, glancing behind and shouldering the load. Whilst Herod rages still in his dark tower, Christ clings to Mary, fingers tightly curled. The lambs are slaughtered by the men of power, and death squads spread their curse across the world. But every Herod dies and comes alone to stand before the Lamb upon the throne. It makes me enormously proud to know that our church is involved in Hope into Action and the Refugee Support Group. Together with others, we are bringing light to a number of Syrian families who have known a darkness that we can't imagine. In these kinds of actions, we are the hands and feet of Jesus in today's world. When we bring gospel values to our community, we bring the light of the world into places where darkness lingers. When we bring the light, and when we see the light in others, we cannot be without hope. As long as there is light, there is always hope. So this Christmas time, as you remember Jesus, helpless babe born in a barn, focus on his light, his life, and his truth, and know that in him and through him hope stands firm as a shining beacon in the darkness which cannot overcome it. And be blessed.